Alright, now we're going to talk about topographic maps. Alright, we're going to have our Yosemite Valley map. I'm going to do these in two parts. This is the hardest lab that we have. Okay, I'm going to talk about this just a little bit. This is the header, and it tells you pretty much everything you need to know about the map. So you can see here, here's a scale. The ratio is 1 to 24,000. And the way to think about that is 1 inch on the map equals 24 inches on the ground. Okay? But if you don't want to be confused by all this high order mathematics, you can just measure these things off. That's a mile right there. You can see that's a mile right there. So this would be 2 miles right there, something like that. All right? The contour interval is 40 feet. That means when you look at these lines on the map, the difference between these lines, okay, the difference between these little lines right here is 40 feet. All right? The heavier lines are going to be, let's see, there's 40, 80, 120, 160, 200. So the course interval is going to be 200 feet. Okay, you might want to double check that. All right, and that's vertical change. All right, that's vertical change. But it tells you a lot of other stuff too. Here's the magnetic declination, who published the map, you know, all kinds of good stuff. Here we go, different types of roads and things like that. So this gives you your scale, gives you your topographic components. All right, so that is probably where you want to start with this thing. I'm going to come back and talk a little bit more about the bearing system for these things. What you'll note, the way that I like to use these maps is I like to get kind of oriented with them. And what you'll see here is some numbers. You see 119 degrees on the upper right part of your map, 29 minutes, 10 seconds. Here's 37 degrees, 47 minutes, and 5 seconds. Okay, following along this latitude line, that's not going to change. Okay, that's not going to change as you go all the way over to the other side of the map. That's the longitude line. So that stays the same. Okay, that stays the same. But this changed to 119 degrees, 45 minutes west. All right, so that's a longitude line. So the longitude lines are like this, okay, as you move across. Something like that. Okay, the latitude lines are like this. But I like to get oriented, you know. So now I know this longitude line is that number, the 37 degrees. Well, 37 degrees, 47 minutes and 5 seconds. You can come down here too, and you'll see here's another latitude line, 37 degrees, 42 minutes north. We're in the northern hemisphere. Go all the way over there and look at. Oh, it didn't change. It didn't change, okay? So that's the latitude line. But now, this vertical line, 119 degrees and 45 minutes, is this line, okay? So that won't change. It's a vertical line. That's longitude. That's west, okay? So you go over here, and you are at 119 degrees, 29 minutes, 10 seconds, okay? And that's vertical. That's the vertical line right there. So now we know all 4 corners of the map, okay? Now all we have to be able to do is come over to, I don't even know how to pronounce that, Yosemite Lodge, let's say, and then get our latitude line, which is going to be northern hemisphere, and our longitude line, you know, measure it off down here. All right, so that's the way that you use that. I'm going to come back in the next video and talk about degrees and minutes because it confuses everybody. Okay, and it's not that hard. It's actually pretty easy. Okay, and I'm also going to talk a little bit more about figuring out elevation differences and things like that. All right, this one's the hardest lab, so if you have any problems, let me know. Either email me or, you know, come to my office hours. All right.